So in this video, we're going to talk about how in iTCH we track student progress and some of the different things we've done with various schools and districts for customizing or creating measurements for student outcomes and also tracking to standards that are out there. So just to kind of start with, I'm looking at the iTCH course catalog here, and you can see in this catalog that we have a number of the courses, and so you can scroll through and look at all of these different courses, but in several of them we have put in the course details the standards that the course tracks to. We have done these through the Computer Science Teachers Association matrix, but we also have a company that we work with if there's a need for a full standards based review of the curriculum. We can do that for you and provide standards that might be specific to your state or something like that. So that's in each of these courses. You can kind of go through and look at some of the different standards that we have. And the other thing we've done is several proposals for school districts. For instance, for the Bellevue School District, we did a curriculum outline for 5th grade for them. Went through the course material and put together a pathway here that includes a review of all the AP computer science standards that this would be applicable to, for the CSTA standards as well for this track, and then the actual computer science courses and tracks that the students would work through or the teachers would work through this was for a 15 to 24 hour unit. So we combined several of our courses into making a pathway there for that school. And then inside the project workspace area itself, we also have the ability for curriculum designers, if you want to add quizzes and rubrics, but most of our courses, especially all of the unit labeled courses for elementary, include rubrics and some include quizzes. And so a quiz here, we'll do a preview of this quiz in this stop frame animation project. You can take a look at that. So the quiz here has 7 questions. Several of these are auto graded, similar to a Google form. And then at the end of this, some of the open questions are also able to be graded. And then the grade book here. And so once if they've submitted something here, then you can go in and grade their results. We can also look at, we also include rubrics for most of the activities that can be used for teacher assessments as for the final project. So once kids submit projects for grading, then they can come in and grade them through the rubric. And so the system actually provides a pretty fast way of doing that. You can come in and use a feature called speed grading, so they can look at the grades here, and you can quickly click through and see that the score changes according to whatever we've graded there, and we can just save that grade. So that's a quick way of grading students' projects as well. And so in here, inside the project workspace, once kids submit their projects, you can grade them and also have them do quizzes. And you can add these and modify this as well. So you can always add another quiz. If you're the administrator of the account, you'll be on a district account. We have the ability for you to create and author your own courses. We provide another pathway or a standard course track that you can walk through in our curriculum. So this is a 9-week course, and so we give a sort of rough overview of the course track, and this is for a middle school layer of the course. So we talk about the different units in each through the weeks that would be covered, and then inside each unit there's unit details and daily activities that the teachers can track and follow through, so that they have a pathway through the course material and activities that the students would do. We don't just include all online computer science time. There's a reflections that the kids can do here. They may do writing assignments, and then we also provide a set of warm-up videos. A lot of teachers like to get the class started with videos that through the school, through this unit, that they can play before the kids go kind of settle down. And so we go over some of that stuff in our PD as well in more detail, kind of like classroom flow through, you know, getting started with videos like this, then kind of like working, sharing their work with each other and commenting on each other's work. And then the other part of that is kind of like finishing up and maybe doing a group sharing activities or reviewing and possibly even grading each other's work. In this activity here too, you'll see there's also a starting survey, halfway survey, and exit survey. So we encourage the teachers to be getting the kids through this, so we can kind of do like an entrance point for students, that we can do an assessment of where they're at. And then after they finish this course, they can do an exit survey. And this exit survey, kind of like, it's a Google form. It can be modified or customized for your particular district or school. And after the kids go through this, they actually get a few of the same questions here. And we see kind of how many of the students have moved up into feeling more empowered about computer science. And then we do have a couple of formative questions where we can assess actual students' progress and improvement. And so here's an example of that at one school locally here, where the students, you know, thought the improvement for, you know, people that agree or strongly agree that they can create things with computer science as almost a 3x from 25% to 75%. Understanding computer science, well over doubled. And then just their coding comprehension, understanding what the code is doing, we went from, you know, 20-30% all the way up to 75 as well. So that's folks that followed through. So you can see we're tracking and measuring the actual results, and so we can definitely do more of that type of thing as well. Feel free to kind of go to our website and you can download our data sheet. So if you go to itch.ucodemy, itchcode. If you go to itchcode, at the very top there's a data sheet here link, and so you can download that. And that's this document here, which goes through a lot of these features. We talk about the other customers we have, a little about our dashboard and what's there. And speaking of the dashboard, if I show you just a quick view of that, we also track in our dashboard the students' lesson progress and what they've submitted, you know, as they go. And so on each course in our dashboard, we show kind of like how far they are through the lessons and whether they've submitted projects for grading. So you can see, I don't have students in this area right now, but you can then individually look at like the list of students and their progress through the courses. We also have, for several districts, gone through submitting courses for that district that works through our units that I've just been showing you. And so here's an example of one of those where we submitted for the programming and software development pathway for IT. And so we go through and kind of like talk about the different units that would be in this course, the number of hours, standards, and then also eventually talk about kind of like 21st century literacy skills and whatnot, and other kind of like standards that this was applied to for 21st century skills. So you can kind of get an idea. That's a Washington State specific standards assessment. One other thing you can also grab, if you go to our website, you'll see just above the pricing, you can try our bouncing ball lesson plan. That's this document here. And so we are more than happy to create more of these, but also all of our unit courses all have lesson plans with lesson details, learning objectives, and whatnot in the course material. And we also provide a learning matrix, which includes all of the resources and courses. Some of them, these are blogs and other activities. which include the essential learnings for each activity, example applications, and follow-on. This is also all listed by the difficulty of the course and the length of time that that course can be used for, and any extra work that the kids can do as follow-on periods of activity. So kind of like go through and see all of our different unit courses, what the learning objectives are, and where the applications for these can be made by the students into creating their own programs or stories or games, and the type of dynamics or other things that they're learning from doing these different micro-learning courses that we have in our academy. So that's just another tool for anyone that was looking for creating custom pathways or pathway blocks for different grade levels that might be applicable to work through this list of course material. And as one of the biggest things obviously with iTCH is you can take any of these courses and customize and adapt them to your district, or build your own as well, entirely off of the same kind of concepts that we've brought into play here. And so if teachers have existing Scratch coding activities, it's fairly straightforward for them to get them into the environment where the kids are kind of all in one place and sharing in one spot. So that's about it, I think, for at the moment. But obviously, if there was more standards needed, or other kind of like data that we needed to put together, more than happy to talk with you about that and see what we could come up with. Thanks for your time.